Welcome to Spaceballs, the podcast. I'm Rick Strohmeyer, Chief Engineer, along with
the Mad Actress from an alternate dimension.
All right. So, Nicole, how are you today?
I feel like that's such a loaded question because you know the answer. I feel like ass. I'm bionic. I am bionic now, so there's that. I am bionic. My foot is on fire. I'm chilling here. I finally got to take a shower because like Amazon has they told me this in the recovery room, and my ass like half awake is like ordering it on Amazon. It's just like instead of putting a plastic bag over your foot and tying it to take a shower, it's like a silicone. It has a silicone ring thing, and it's like a sleeve. And she's telling me it while I'm all like hopped up on the drugs they gave me, and I'm just like, great. And it finally arrived today, so I was like, oh. And it's brilliant, but it looks like a foot condom, so it's kind of weird. So, how are you today?
Oh, my back is just sore from shoveling snow. It is April 1st, and we got 8 inches of snow last night, so no joke. Also, I'm going back to the elementary school with special provisions.
Are you really?
No, April Fools. They don't give a fuck.
Okay. So when I saw that post, I was like, he's full of shit. But then you brought it over here, and I was like, oh, maybe he's not.
No, they don't give a fuck. That's the punchline.
Like, oh my. It's like, what a change of pace. You should have just gone along with it. You know, I would have fucking like.
Nah.
Hi, Dylan. So Dylan is super loyal to us, by the way, because he's watching WrestleMania and us and the UConn game. And as both UConn alumni, him and I are very invested in this Final Four. So kudos to fist bump for him, because he says I only give him shit when we're on this show. So I'm going to give him some credit.
There you go. Very good. Good job, Dylan.
You're loyal.
There you go. All right.
So can I kick it off? Can I kick it off?
Sure.
In case nobody knew, Rick had a fucking amazing show last week.
Thank you.
He had a great show last week. I got to spend some time with this guy. It was fantastic. And he finally got cupcakes.
Oh, Alicia liked them too.
Oh, you brought him home for... Oh, good. And his wife made me a scarf.
Very sweet. Yeah.
Okay, now we can go to your scheduled kickoff. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, I don't have anything. No.
I just wanted to celebrate you for a second because it was a great show.
Thank you. It was a wonderful event. Rain, cold and rainy though. So it looked great. The energy around the event felt really good. It was nice to see the folks that were able to come out. Tomorrow I will be having like whatever group buddy selfies I took with people. It's been a crazy, let's see, I left to come home Monday-ish. And so like it's just
from
been,
Virginia?
Yeah. So like excuse me. So I ended up going
I was
from,
like, no,
I
you
ended up,
didn't. Sunday.
I ended up teaching earlier today. So I was, I'm a little hoarse, but that's all right. So yeah, so Sunday left Philly to go to my uncle's in Virginia, and then spent a day and a half, two nights there. While I was in Philly, I realized I left a sketchbook. I lost a sketchbook, and I think it was Thursday. I was frantically trying to find where it was, whether it was like I took 5 trips to Alicia's car to make sure it wasn't there, and I searched the totes that I had left in
Mm,
at the mothership to make sure it wasn't there. And I went through my shit like a few times at the Airbnb, a few times, and then I ended up calling the both hotels. So like I went backwards, from from Pittsburgh, they didn't have it, to
oh no.
Hammond, which was it's like Indiana suburb of Chicago, and they had it. So I was like,
Oh, good,
okay,
good, good,
yeah, so
good.
they
Thank
had it.
God.
So I ended up when I was at Mo's house, I ended up figuring out my route to go right through there, pick it up, and I was like, well, so I made a reservation at the hotel there, and and I stayed there. Glad I did because the clerk at night was, oh well, we don't have housekeeping locks. I've lost and found up after 5, so I got there at 8, and so I was not told that. The next morning when I got up to retrieve my sketchbook, they were like, "Oh yeah, we put it aside because you said you were going to come by late." Like, cool, but the late night dipshit didn't know, which is fine. But since I had a room, I was like, no harm, no foul. I
Now
drove
they know
12.
your secret. They know
Yeah,
just to steal your sketchbook
yeah.
in
So
order
they
to
went
get
through the
you to
sketchbook,
rebook
and
the hotel.
there's $1 billion idea in there that somebody else decided to use. No, but like so Hammond um, now has a special place in my heart because it is on the east side of Chicago, and this would make the third time I have stayed in not necessarily at the hotel, but in Hammond, and not had to deal with an insane amount of Chicago traffic coming or
Mm,
going, and that's fucking beautiful.
fine, fine by you.
Um, so like now I know in my quest for a better path, I've found one around Chicago, which is also like this is the third time that I've gone around Chicago without any fail. So if you've ever driven
Nice.
through, it's miserable to drive through
I've
Chicago.
never gone to
Um,
Chicago.
it's pretty. Imagine Brooklyn, but eternal, like driving 6. Yeah, so imagine driving through the Brooklyn for 2.5 hours. That's what Chicago feels like. Um, So yeah, so to be able to go through at in about half an hour or around for in half an hour is amazing because you're just you're always moving, and then you get to find out how shitty the roads of Indiana are, and it's like, wow, you guys could have used some of that infrastructure money. Wow.
Dylan, we're not talking about Chicago pizza. We're not doing that tonight. Nope, 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 not up for it. Nope.
It is as long as you don't put the big chunky tomatoes on it. I can go with that. Um,
We're not.
but
No.
like the first time I actively, well, so I actively went to go stay in Chicago about 7 years ago after I took Alicia there for like a surprise vacation because near the end of summer, and we ended up just looking up Anthony Bourdain's suggestions of Chicago. Now he has like basically three. You have essentially 3 tiers of Anthony Bourdain's recommendations. You have very high class and expensive, something that isn't too terribly, something that's still expensive but not like
Not like
maybe I'll
crazy.
eat there once, and then like a lot of the cheap stuff. And we ended up going mostly the cheap route, and it was all really amazing. Like we ended up uh, going to a pizza place that did not do deep dish, but it was still an amazing piece of it was an amazing chunk of pizza. that we ate. Like the only place we really flinched was like the night we got there, and I ended up paying $24 for a hamburger. So like oh, that's because we were walking on the sidewalk, we look at the menu, we're like, oh, the prices aren't too bad. We sit down, and they're like, oh, that was our lunch menu. I'm like, yeah, it's 8 o'clock at night, and they're giving us. So
See,
yeah,
I always say Wednesday is the night where I treat myself to like, you know, good meal or whatever, like if I want to order. And it's because Dylan's here and he already says, see, all I do is give him shit. I'm going to give him more shit. He was like, no, you got to get your pasta, because it was like a few weeks ago. And I'm like, no, they increased it like $3. It's like a fucking $30 pasta dish. Absolutely not. That is going to be like a birthday, I had a really shitty month. Like it is no
you could
longer
go to Shao for the $30.
Yeah,
For lunch.
for lunch. Yeah, I was
For
gonna
lunch.
say like probably, and
But
it's
you go there
like
for $30 for lunch, you're not going to eat another meal for the rest of the day.
absolutely not. I'm like, once I saw that, I mean, it's only like again, it's only $3, but at 27, it's already a lot, you know. So making it 30, you're like, but it's really good. It's like squid ink pasta with shrimp and Calabrian chilies, and it's just like, you know, so good. Now I'm hungry, but I haven't been hungry for like, you know, 3 days.
Right. So then so today, let's see. So we have because of Nicole is incapacitated, we're gonna do the reveals of March's color of the month next week when Nicole is actually able to do so. And yeah, and like mine's at the mothership, and I will be sharing some cool pictures. But if I haven't,
I love you for the grace. Thank you.
Well, oh, sure, why not? But we will be spinning the color wheel in just a little bit. Right there, Nicole did not forget to get that before she.
It stays here.
Put everything
it stays
right.
Here.
So for those who don't know what, so Nicole. Yeah, so Nicole's on recovery for the foot surgery, and yeah, so.
And I told Rick that I actually like did something to make sure I didn't work, because I am the queen of no, I'll rest, and then you'll see me like like when I had the first foot surgery, my ass was pouring resin. Like, bitch, what am I doing? And like that was when I broke it. So this time I'm like, you know what? Let me chill, because I always disrupt my like recovery process so easily, like with everything. So I just put everything so far away, and it's killing me inside.
I bet.
It's fucking killing me. And I act like it's been long. It's like been like a day and a half realistically. I'm just like, ugh, because Thursday is, well, you know, that was a wash.
Wow.
Oh well.
I'm going. Oh well. So we had the show, and then I raced back here, and like. I talk about the road trip just a little bit. So there was no like real. So there was a little bit of rush to make sure I showed up to Philly on Thursday. Okay, I left here on Tuesday, no problem. At worst, the map app says it's 22 hours. At best, it says it's 15, which is like, okay, that's when you leave at 10 o'clock at night, so you could go through certain metropolitan areas at the dead end when they're dead. But it took me only 19 hours to get to Philly, so I ended up or two. So I ended up like Hammond. Then I stayed at Pittsburgh the night before, which I could have made it to Philly the second night, but then like whoever was going to let me into the Airbnb was going to have to stay till like 11, 12 o'clock at night to let my ass in. So out of the sake of friendship, I didn't do that.
Out
But
of
on the
slight
way,
respect for your friends.
but on the way home, so I left on Monday at 8:30 in the morning, Eastern time. And the map app said it was only going to take 16 hours to get home, which I was quite pleased with. And I said to myself, I can do this. And because I left my sketchbook behind, I did not. But by the time I made it to Hammond, it had said it was going to take 19 hours again. And it's because there was such a shit mess on the other side of Chicago. It's coincidentally almost the same thing on the way going to. But I was like, it does not matter if I could have made it. I've already said I've got the reservation. It's already like on my card. But the accident on the other side of Chicago is divine intervention that said, don't try and do this in one night. So I didn't. I stayed safe.
It was telling you like, hey, if you go this way, you're going to be turning your car off and taking a nap while on the highway. So just sleep.
But that's exactly what happened on the way too. So like right at Hammond, I ended up coming to a stop, and the GPS said you got an accident for 10 miles, and you're delayed. And then I looked down and I was like, holy shit, I'm delayed. It's like it added an extra 4.5 hours onto my trip. Yeah, it was insane. And so I'm like, well, there's a Holiday Inn Express right there. I'm going to get off and go on there. And then like in that cluster of hotels, nobody had a vacancy. So I ended up having to get back on the interstate. And then I just like, you know how the interstate goes with just like the on ramp, and it's going to peter out eventually. But this one didn't peter out. It just went to the next exit ramp. So that's where I went to try my luck on the next round of hotels. And that's where I found one. And I'm like,
oh, thank God.
I'm going to stop here because I'm only going to make 4 miles in the next 4 hours, and I'm going to be just super pissed that's it. But if I cut bait here, the accident's going to be gone in the morning. No hard feelings. And so that was
and
great.
we don't need you to die, so
It's great. And like the weather was all pretty cooperative, and there was like, I think I had maybe 10 miles of road construction on the whole trip, which is really nice. The worst part, actually, the worst congestion I had was going in and getting, once I ended up getting into Philadelphia. And I'm like, wow, this ain't bad at all. And so
I'm glad that this trip was was
and
easy.
And then there was no rush to get there, because like I'm not racing the clock, because I like jumped in the car right after work and headed out. It's like, oh, I left when I woke up, and it's like I'm leaving on a Tuesday and I have to be in Philly on Friday. That's not that's very attainable. I don't have to panic on that. And on the way home, it was almost the same thing. It's like, oh well, I do have to get to the hotel to get my sketchbook, but other than that, it's like no big deal. I'm going to show up when I'm going to get home in time to have pizza with Alicia. That's pretty much it. So like I messaged her when I was on the road. I'm like, do you want to get pizza tonight? She's like, yes, please. And there you go.
Because you're the best.
Well, I know what she wants, I know what she likes, and I know what I want after a day like that. So pretty okie doke. And then like I shot a little video of me. I always shoot a little video of Munin when I come home. I just set record, and
like his reaction.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh, she's the first one, her butt's all wiggling, and this time that like they both heard, and they're all like clamoring all over the back door. And I'm like, all right, well, this is great. And so, like, it's fun.
I love that about animals. Like when I got home on Thursday, Noodle came right over to me and she was smelling my foot, because the first thing I did was I came inside, I sat down on the floor, and I smoked a little bit of weed. And she's smelling my foot, and she's all like, what's going on? And you know, I've told you she doesn't really care about me. And Pebbles even got up and was like, what's going on? What's going on? And then upstairs yesterday, I met my stepdad like in the hallway to say hi to him, and his cat ran down the stairs and hopped on my lap and sat on my lap while I was sitting on the stairs visiting him. And I'm like, these animals, and like just the way that they just know. They just
They
know.
do. They do. All right. So this might be a briefer episode tonight. So we're gonna cross the T's and dot the I's immediately, and then we'll go.
Pebbles smell my foot. Piglet jumped on my lap. Pebbles doesn't
Awesome.
jump on anything. She's too old.
She knows to take care of you.
She does.
All right. So we have events coming up and whatnot. Hell, I have one tomorrow. And but we're gonna let Trilletta go first and talk about. You got an upcoming thing to discuss, or no? Uh-oh.
What am I doing? What am I doing soon? Is there something I'm forgetting?
Are you going to discuss Pride Show or no?
Oh yeah, I was like, we'll do that. Yeah. So
I was like, Nicole, rainbow.
I was like, I'm sitting here thinking you're going like, are you here? I'm like, not really, no. So we didn't do it last year, or I didn't do last year, but this year, thanks to Martian, we're gonna bring back Pride and Art, and I'm super fucking excited about it because I found 3 new charities, and one of them, like, I mean, I'm always excited about whoever I pick. Like, last time I was super excited about him, and this time, like, it's for a whole different reason, of course. And one of them donates to elderly LGBTQIA people, like, who are going into like nursing homes and stuff like that. And I was like, Jesus, like, how like niche and sweet is that? Because, like, just like children, they're at a very like what's the word? Not gentle. Oh God, I can't think of the word. Fragile time. So it's like, that's they help them find like caretakers that aren't going to be like, discriminatory things like that. And I think it's fantastic. So we're doing that in Philly on June 17th, a week after 5 Points. And there's going to be like little gift bags for the artists as a thank you from me. And just like the heart pins, we're going to have those, but we're also going to have Bully rainbow pins for sale there too. And I'm thinking of having some like how I have my iridescent earrings because they flash all the colors. I'm thinking of having maybe like necklaces made in time for that, so we can have more like little things. Like if people aren't like, able to spend hundreds of dollars on art, they can spend, $30 on a necklace or $20 on a pair of, of earrings, or, 12 on a pin, and like still be able to donate towards the charities and stuff like that.
Right on.
And we have a bunch of people already, so I'm super excited, and I need to I'm giving myself until at least like that first day of when they check the foot out and stuff like that, to like go back out to doing reach out. But we have like a bunch of people already, which is crazy. Cool. It's just like, oh my God, it's coming so fast because I didn't it's April, and thankfully we're like, I'm timeline wise more ahead than the first year.
Well, there you go. That's progress, right?
I was like, that's progress.
That's progress.
Yeah.
On Monday, Jimmy Kimmel will have a bit that says with all the news people from across the or just morning shows and whatnot, and just be like, it's April already. Can you believe it? Because because he's been doing that for the last 2 or 3 months, and it's been funny. So I just expect that to be Monday too.
I
So
want
just
to
the way
see
you're like
that.
April already, like yeah, we'll see that.
Yeah,
That'll be funny.
because it's just like, oh my God, June, June 17th, Jesus Christ. And
Yeah,
funny
9
enough,
weeks
the
away.
first year was June 19th. So it's like around the same like time frame and everything like that, so we're gonna actually like keep, it seems pretty consistent to be like the third weekend of June. And so it works out. And I'm so grateful for Martian to like be able to have us like slide in and do that before they have their final show that month.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then there's Zazzy's Pizza, like with Plastic Pizza. They're doing a Pride show the week after Pride and Art. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, how about we, like, because I'm in that show, I was like, how about you guys do my show? Like, we just kind of like boom, boom, and hit all the charities and like hit all the fucking stops on the way.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Somebody was like, oh, can I do both? Like, is that bad? And I'm like, they're in mine.
No, that sounds cool. Like, hey, Jason,
Yeah.
how's it going? Sorry. We're tired.
We are
Like,
tired.
all right. So yeah. And then today and yesterday, today and tomorrow, I've been, so today I started working with my Make-A-Wish kiddo in person. And that's pretty cool. Actually, I'd like to share a couple pictures. And I did get mom's permission to share on Facebook, but I haven't done that. But
That's
so
nice that she like.
Oh yeah. Well, so like one of the things about so we're gonna go through my screenshot, my shit, and be like, this is the one I can show, this is the one I can't. But yeah, no. So like Make-A-Wish Foundation wants you to like take pictures of your things so that they can have like, so that they can make, so that they can do montages and whatnot. They just want it all documented. And like, I don't do that well, but I'm like, I was telling the kid's mom today, I'm like, I just mainly like put time lapse on I suspend time lapse over my airbrush and just go from there. And
It's not necessarily a bad idea though.
right. Well, thank you. And so why aren't you finding, it doesn't want to find my photos. Oh, that sucks. Come on, dude.
Your computer is like listening to us go like everything hurts and we're so tired. And it's like, yeah, well, fine.
Oh,
fine.
you didn't want to show that, did you? Not really. Thanks.
Yeah. You didn't actually have something that you cared about for like 5 minutes. No, not at all. Isn't that how it always is?
Let's see if we can do it this way. There. Can we see that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So first thing I did is dig the mom out of the snow because she got stuck there. So
I still can't believe that happened. Like
I
can, right, but I can't.
So, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's to me, it's funny. It's like, oh, well, this is what we did. All right. So, oops. To me, it's funny. But,
yeah.
Oops. You know what? I'm going to end my share screen. See if I can do this better. And anyway, so first thing we did was, what the hell? No.
It was so close to letting you.
It was so close. Just bastard. All right. We'll do that. Hey, there we go. We're just gonna be full screen in it. Okay. So screen, window, entire screen. There. Okay. Bastard. All right. So there, snow. Wonderful snow. Beautiful, glorious, wonderful snow. And then let's see. So first thing we did is we played a game where, we go over the idea of like what lines are, etc. This is one of my favorite games to play. with kids, and so we just take turns drawing lines. The rules are simple. One, you get one line per turn. Somebody gets to determine. You get to pick. You get to pick who's going to end the game, and the person get, and that's random. So you draw three lines and done. So the other rule is so only one line per turn, and the other rule is you can't tell the other person what you're doing. So it's a quiet game, but you can get some really cool things out of here. And I like this one. I kind of see an eel in it, and it's just like we're just
I
playing
see a
with some lines.
dinosaur.
See,
An upside down dinosaur.
you see, and then so here we have. So she wants it. Her painting's going to have a space background. So we started doing like, what do we preach? Practice. Always practice, right? So
Yeah.
so we started working on a space painting on just a space scene on watercolor paper on like 18 by 24. So this is the start of her doing that. Oh, and fun hack, the palette on the right of this picture is an egg carrying case from
The
the
dollar
dollar
store?
store. Yeah, so it worked out really well. Just like
I I
there it
bought like
is.
I bought 5 of those deviled egg containers, and I thought I was fucking crazy. Thank you.
So I'm
Thank
like,
you. Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome. You've been justified. So I was like, all right, if I wanted to put a full color wheel in there, cool. The middle can put water. It's covered. And in theory, if there's a lot of paint in there that didn't dry up while we were painting, we could just put more water in with the paper towel in the middle, put the cover on, and it could be good for tomorrow. But by the time we were done, I was like, well, we're just gonna peel the paint out. So yeah,
Have some fun little acrylics
yeah.
skins.
So this is me. So I got her to I showed her how to scale up her drawing with a grid, and she scaled it up from an 8.5 by 11 sketchbook to a bigger one. So then,
Oh
like
wow.
this is her transferring it onto the 16 by 20 panels that we were using. So yeah, we both got a 16 by 20 panel, and yeah, so this is her with most of her background done.
Oh, she blended that out so nice.
She did, didn't she? I taught her that. I'm like, I did that. No,
It's not
I taught
about
her
you.
that. So then, like, so the her character, I showed her how you can like mask out things in the foreground with blue tack, poster tack, so that she could paint all the way to the edge of her background, and then she doesn't have to worry about much over much painting over her character, and it also just allows that primed surface to do its job. And so, like,
Yeah.
that was pretty slick. And then, well, here's mine. So I started painting a little bear with the scene, and now he looks like a chow chow. And
I was gonna say he looks like he's like your pup going like from like you're underneath it like he's a balloon
yeah,
in the Macy's Day Parade type.
there you go. And then this is more of her character with or her painting where she took some of
Oh,
the
the
blue tack
mountains and
off.
stuff.
She's like, so the planet in the background, I was like, let's do some paper studies on this, and I'll show you a couple ideas on how you can paint this, and then
Oh, so
suggestions, not like this is how you
sweet.
do it. So that's that. And then yeah, that's us for the day. Where we got so far.
Oh, she looks so happy. You
Yeah,
look happy.
I'm pretty happy with that. I think we did a fine job, a lot of progress, and yeah, it was really positive. So
Oh, what does that say? No, no. Oh, damn it. So
what?
what did that say in the
Spam?
on the paper? Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay, so so I very much I laid out what we were doing for the day. So the first thing we were going to do is play a game. We did, and then it was like, okay, we're going to do a space paper painting. We did, and then we transfer her character onto the board, which we did, and then paint big and bravely, and then last rule
Have
or
fun.
last thing for the day, have fun.
I saw that the have fun. I was like, what did you like? What cute little thing did you write that girl?
So I very much wrote like what the plans for the day, and we exceeded what we were going to do. So like
Oh, I love this.
we finished up by 2:30. So we started roughly around 10:30ish. I'm going to say we're 10:30. Probably sooner, um but I lost track of time after trying to dig her mom out of out of the snow. So
There's an
I was like,
asterisk on that.
yeah, yeah, and that's fine. Like 4 hours, that's an amazing amount of time or work to do.
Yeah.
And so like the plan is to finish up tomorrow, so I will have mine finished tomorrow. And then we ended up getting so the Make a Wish auctions off the artwork off at a gala, and
Oh,
that's
that's so
on.
sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. And so, and I
What?
mean, that's how they keep in funds, I suppose. And so that's on August 20, or not August, April 29th. And yeah, so I got an invitation to go, and I'm like, oh, that invitation is there you go. That's slick. And
You gotta show me pic. Oh, and it's the last weekend of the month, so you'll be look at that.
yeah, it's really convenient. The last 2 weeks of this month. So we do have a double dead week for those following at home.
That's
So
right.
so we will have the 22nd and the 29th off, which is convenient as hell for me because the 22nd I will be at a pink battle and doing something I've never done before. And so I was supposed to start today, but starting tomorrow, I'm like guys like not barely available. Killtope, Killtope on.
I love Kilto.
I do too. I love it. I love his methodology, and so like when I was trying to figure out like how am I going to prepare for this, all of it, like next thing in my feed is one of his time lapse videos of him doing paintings in an 8x8 square sketchbook, probably a little smaller. I'm like, that's that is what I need to do for the next 3 weeks.
He is so amazing. He's hilarious.
Is he like?
Yeah.
I think his stuff's hilarious, and we've talked about products before, like different manufactured things we like and stuff. And
I have one of his like those mini paintings he does like our magnets too. And it's like the little bunny guy going like fuck yeah crystals and he's holding a crystal in his hand.
excellent.
He was in the first Pride show.
Right on. I remember him in, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, but like clearly it was impactful enough for me. Where he was in the HOB House of Blues show with at Martian Toys at the Mothership, and where he had like it's the water tower bird, and
Oh
he had all these like
yeah,
missing
yeah,
cat
yeah.
he had all these missing cat flyers around his piece. And I was like, that would have been so cool as a sticker pack. Like, even if it was just like five of his best ones to be like, here's a sticker pack. And you could put these fake fucking missing cat stickers on things. I thought that would be so hilarious, which is like
I love his stuff.
why I made some of the prints that I did. And so it actually influenced some of my pieces for the show. So way to go. um, yeah. So,
Because he's in Milwaukee, right? Or like not Milwaukee.
gosh, I have no idea.
He's in Michigan. Never mind. Ignore me. He's in Michigan.
Okay. So yeah, like it's just. So I was like, oh, so with the painting I did today, I was like, in my head, I'm like, this is taking a long time. And it's okay that it's taking a long time, but I'm like, what in the hell am I going to do for 20 minutes at an art battle? I might as well get 3 cans of Rust-Oleum and fucking whack off, play whack-a-doodle with those.
So don't say whack off. Don't do
But
it.
yeah, so I'm just like, well, I'm going to be sharpening some very old skills.
That would be so. I'm excited to see that
So
though.
we'll probably be putting those up on the old Instagram too. I don't know. I'll have to figure out a camera rig for that here. And then, like, in theory, I could take my airbrush because I have a generator.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
but,
do.
But yeah, so and it's at a this one is at a brewery, and that's cool. I just invited a bunch of my buddies. I was like, hey, come watch me paint under pressure and get a pint.
I was just like, watch me paint while sweating,
but
like from the drama, and you get
the
drunk.
person who's been running like the ones for Minnesota, yesterday, or she had just finished yesterday's, and that was at the Mall of America. And
that's a big plot. That's a big space.
That's a big space. I was like, wow. Maybe was it yesterday? Anyway, the last one, which was like either yesterday. No, I think it was there during my show. So anyway, so the last one was like at the Mall of America. I'm like, wow, that would be cool, but I'm not missing my show for nothing. And so April it is, which is super cool. And
that's going to be so exciting.
I hope so. So yeah. Other than that, like, also I ended up getting. So we'll go to what have you been late? What have you been listening to lately? Do the background sound. There you go. What's been floating your boat since foot surgery?
I don't really know. Stupid TV, because I fall asleep in the middle of it. Like I'm in and out of sleep like all day anyway, so it's kind of like I don't want to focus on anything specific.
Okay.
So it's like just stupid reality shit that's on Netflix.
Okay.
To where like you sit there and you're like, and then when you wake up like 7 episodes later because you missed them, you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Fair enough.
Because like I'm not even gonna lie, I have no idea anything outside of that because like I haven't been listening to music. I can't distract myself very easy because it hurts. So I'm like that's distracting enough because it's just like reality TV shows just like constant like this. So it's like it's tiresome. So I'm like, okay, good night. I'm okay with it.
Right on. I started Stephen King's newest book called Fairy Tale, and like, okay, this is a little slow. It's a lot of buildup. I'm like, okay, and right before when I finished my trip, I was like, I think this is where the good part starts. So like, okay,
Of course,
need to get into the groove of a painting groove to be like, all right, how are we getting from this slow start to where the story's actually going to go. But I started Nope last night. Jordan Peele's.
Did you?
Yeah, I got halfway through, and I was like, I didn't realize I didn't realize I had only gotten halfway through because I'm like, wow, this is cool. It's a little messed up. It doesn't hit my squeamish level yet. And then I was like, I'm tired. And then I was like, oh, it is. I am not staying up another hour plus to finish. So I pumped the brakes when we got to Asteroid Land, or that's the Tom Hanks movie. So yeah, when they're out in the desert, when they're out in the desert.
They're filming the fake movie or whatever.
Yeah, so I got to that. Funny enough, though, the movie I was not thinking it would be like something I would actually be inclined to watch because I Casual Geographic, hilarious YouTuber, hilarious TikToker, but he
Asteroid
compiled
Town. That's what Dylan said. Asteroid Town.
Asteroid Town. Okay, is that the Wes Anderson movie or two, or is that or like because Tom Hanks is in the new Wes Anderson movie and it look Wes Anderson movie and it look yeah. Um,
He
anyway,
would know if it's a Tom Hanks film, so.
so yeah, so like Casual Geographic, this funny YouTuber, TikToker, and he compiles this shit onto YouTube so he can have like 1,700 of his TikTok videos in one uh, 15-minute YouTube thing, and that guy is fucking hilarious because he uses a lot of very contemporary gamer terms when he's talking about like animals killing each other or people ending up dying because of fucking around and finding out with nature. And he was doing this whole, but even when he like segues into his ads, it's pretty slick. But he was doing this whole episode on animal attacks on people, just like trainers who end up finding out the hard way. And
Yeah. Oh
and
God.
and he's like, and if you wonder where all the why this video exists, it's because of this movie, and nope. And I was like, well, there's a little bit of squeamishness where I don't like to watch like surgical procedures on like so like or when they have to show like, oh, we're going into the bone or in for this, and like even animals, even like the vet shows them like, tell me when it's done. I don't want to look at that anymore. I've looked at enough of that shit. So
Yeah, no, I'm
did
good.
you did introduce me to yes, you did.
Casual Geo.
Yes, you did. Dude's fucking funny. All right.
Casual Geo. I'm gonna have to look that up.
That dude it reminds me of one of my good buddies because just the way he talks. And yeah, like guy's fucking funny. And he loves talking about honey badgers and hippos. And how he refers to hippos, awesome. So like, murderous water ponies.
Murderous water ponies. Oh my God.
That's one of his many descriptions of a hippo. It's just like, okay, I get behind that.
Murderous water ponies. I like that. Murderous water ponies.
And like when people die, he's like, oh, that's the way that this is how so and so ended up on a shirt. It's just like it's so good.
Yeah, that needs to be a shirt. And can the hippo have like a knife in his mouth like this? Like
maybe. But yeah, he'll be like, oh, somebody put themselves on the obituaries or blah blah blah. And it's just like, all right. And he talks about honey badgers a lot because he understands.
honey badgers.
Honey badgers.
I fucking love how badass those things are.
Right.
They're cool. They can battle a snake. Like what?
Do everything.
Unless that's like propaganda.
Well, it's one of those few creatures that no matter what zoo you go to, there probably will not have one. So
fair. Right. I don't think I've ever seen a badger in a zoo.
Right. Like I've seen regular badgers and wolverines, but never a honey badger. And that's
because they've killed any person that tries to get it.
It's like that seems like too much fuck around. But yeah. All right, dude. Well, it's been a long, hard day. Oh, We got it. Yes, thank you. Before I just like dictate the pace completely. So we're gonna finalize the show with the color of the month. Thank goodness Nicole remembered. So
Wait,
you have
will it do
robot
it if I?
parts.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's right here.
It's
I just
right
wanted
there.
to make. I just wanted to make sure if I was holding it, it wouldn't be like.
Okay.
Watch it do that now that I did that.
Ooh, look at that! Look at that! What do we got? It looks like an orange.
Jesus Christ. Solar flare red. It's like fucking red orange.
Flare red, but
It's like an orange red orange. Yeah.
red orange. There you go. Hey,
It looks like you could use like the fluorescent reds that we have and like get away with that.
That's all right. I'm open to that.
I like
got
this color's kind of cool.
I got stuff that needs to be painted that color. Cool.
I kind of like that one.
Solar flare red. Excellent.
Nice.
All right. Well, there you go. So you heard it here first. And happy April Fools, everybody. I decided to just do the name change over there instead of like fucking around on Facebook. I don't feel like another 30 days of.
Oh God, no. and us being on Spaceballs and then people being like, what happened to Paint Club? Yeah, no. It's not worth the show.
And we'll see if Facebook even kicks this episode off. Hopefully, or no, not Facebook. YouTube kicks this episode off. So,
because of Monet, yeah.
So we'll see. It's worth the risk. What the hell?
If it does, thank you for watching when it was happening.
That's true.
And if you are watching this and it's not the 1st of April 2023, we made it.
Yeah, survived that. That's pretty cool. All right, so Nicole, tell everybody. Tell I'm tired. I'm stuttering like hell. Nicole, please tell to people where they can find you.
Laying on my fucking couch. Here on up there. I was like here. This place on Instagram.
That right there on Instagram.
That thing.
The .mat address.
Yeah.
Right
and my
there.
bed or couch.
That right there. And then I right there at Rickstro, RICSTROH. We are here 3 times out of the month for the good times, good vibes, and the opinionated opinions. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. See you next week. A little more energized. All right. Good night, all. Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you.